We're going to talk about the Eagles' first-round picks on today's show because Jalen Carter is turning heads, Nolan Smith making some noise. Those two rookies really impressing a lot of people throughout Eagles OTAs. You know, it's also really impressive. The leaked Eagles Kelly Green jerseys, which will be making their return during the 2023 season. I think they're fresh. I think they're some of the nicest jerseys in all of professional sports. And if you're with me and you like those Kelly Green threads, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Brings back shades of when Kevin Kolb was the starter for this team. Michael Vick replaced him against the Green Bay Packers. That went on to be a very exciting season for Philadelphia, which unfortunately ended in heartbreaking fashion in the NFL playoffs against those Green Bay Packers once again. Now, before we talk about Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, today's show is sponsored by True Classic. I'm wearing one of their polos right now. You can get 25% off by using the promo code CHAT. That link is hanging out in the comment section and in the description of this video. Father's Day is just around the corner, and it's time to find a gift that dad will actually love, right? This year, give him the gift of style as well as comfort with True Classic. Their ultra soft, perfectly fitted tees are just the beginning. True Classic has everything you need to build a complete wardrobe, from button-downs to Henleys to polos, and their latest comfort jeans and chinos are a must-have for anyone who wants to look sharp and feel comfortable at the same time. But True Classic, not just about clothes. They also have a line of active shirts, shorts, and joggers. I ran in their shorts the other day, busted out 6 miles. They're perfect for anyone who wants to stay comfortable while also staying active. And if you're not completely satisfied with your purchase, they offer a 100% risk-free guarantee and easy returns. Don't forget, use the promo code CHAT at trueclassic.com/chat to get 25% off your order plus free shipping on purchases over $100. Give a gift that dad will actually love this Father's Day and give him True Classic. As for the rookies who are impressing after Eagles OTAs, Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith. And when I handed out my Eagles draft grades at the time, I had to give Howie Roseman an A grade because of the value of Carter at number 9, the value of Nolan Smith at number 30, but also some of the other picks that the Eagles made that I thought addressed positions of need, but players who I thought had a good opportunity to impact this team for years to come. Now, I do want to ask you this question, and this is today's poll question, so make sure you get your votes in down in the comments section. Which player are you more excited about? Is it Jalen Carter type JC, or is it Nolan Smith type NS? I think it's important that these two players have a level of camaraderie, continuity with some of their Georgia teammates, and here's Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter, who hopefully can be major factors along this Eagles defensive line for many years to come. They had a good relationship at Georgia, and I think that having a bunch of former Georgia teammates in that locker room just helps some of these young players become a little bit more acclimated with what the NFL game is because they know what to expect. And I can't wait to see these two play. They're going to play, at least I imagine, critical roles for this defense here in 2023. Nick Sirianni on Smith and Carter and his takeaways in the early going here. So we have a little bit of a gap between OTAs and training camp coming up at the end of July. I think you just see their athletic ability and the drill work, Sirianni said. We're doing a lot of 7-on-7, not even team drills, but they're getting a lot of individual work. So you're seeing the things that we saw, obviously, on tape of what they do well and the power, their athletic ability, as well as their personalities. And the development of Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith is going to be really important because you lost a lot of critical foundational pieces from this Eagles defense a year ago that helped lift you to an NFC championship and allowed you to get to the Super Bowl. You lost Javon Hargrave, who signed that 4-year, $84 million deal with the San Francisco 49ers. You lost 2 starting backers in Kaiser White and TJ Edwards. You lost both of your starting safeties in CJ Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps. All of those players got paid more than what they were paid last year with Philadelphia, and that's why you need some of these young players to step in. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Davis, and they are going to have to fill big shoes and fulfill big roles for this Eagles defense this upcoming season if they want to have any hopes of repeating as NFC champs and once again playing for a Super Bowl. Jalen Carter getting some early buzz for NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. Here are the odds. He's second only behind Will Anderson, who I love that pick for the Houston Texans. Them coming away with him and C.J. Stroud, I thought they knocked it out of the park for an organization that oftentimes does not do that. Anderson plus 350, Jalen Carter plus 550 to win Defensive Rookie of the Year odds this year. The odds makers, they like what Jalen Carter can bring to the table, and it also tells me they expect Carter to get some significant snaps this year as well. Reasons to be excited about Jalen Carter. First of all, I thought the value of getting him at number 9 was tremendous, especially when you consider that he may have been the best player in this draft class. He's a dominant disruptor along that defensive line who can play every single position along that front. He has great size as well as speed, and that combination certainly translates to the NFL level. And even though there were some character concerns about Carter coming out of Georgia, where he won 2 national championships, he joins an established culture with a lot of veterans who I think are going to help him make that seamless transition to the NFL. We talk about him having the versatility to his craft. His snap alignment at Georgia last year, he played everywhere. Lined up on the A-gap, 30 snaps, over tackle, 83 times, on the B-gap, 255, and at outside tackle, 20. So you can literally use him as a chess piece all along that defensive line. Why to be excited about Nolan Smith? He's a freaky, twitchy athlete with very elite speed, good bend and speed coming off that edge. That first step is extremely quick. He gets to learn from a player who has his athletic profile in Reddick, who combined last year for 19.5 sacks in the regular season as well as in the playoffs. And he brings a vivacious type of personality to this team that I think is very reminiscent of Brandon Graham, who always seems to light up the room when he walks in. Great character and personality. And I tweeted this out the other day on my Twitter page at Chase_Senior. Nolan Smith's bend coming around the edge. Look at how his body lines up with the turf here. Like, that is really, really special for him to have that bend coming around the edge. That all has to do with leverage, right? When he's going up against some of these taller offensive tackles, they're going to have a difficult time defending him, and here's him really getting around that offensive tackle in this drill here with that speed, that strength, as well as that athleticism to kind of dip under these tackles. He could get after the quarterback. Now make sure you interact with me on Twitter and Instagram. I tweet out pictures like that, some game film, all of my shows, clips from the show as well. And a lot of you have slid in the DMs to say what's up over the last few days. Don't be a stranger. Continue to do that. I love chopping it up with everybody at Chase_Senior on Twitter and Instagram. Josh Sweat, also impressed by his defensive lineman teammates. He said this a couple of weeks ago. They're great. The work ethic, pretty crazy for both of them. They're already working. Shoot, they're professionals, man. It's actually surprising coming out of college. But, I mean, they're working. They're just here to learn, and they're making improvements quickly. And going back to Nolan Smith, his RAS score, this is relative athletic score, which is scaled from 1 to 10. Obviously, the green is elite. The red number's not great. Some people knocked his size at 6 foot, 238 pounds, but everything else in terms of the explosiveness, him being twitchy, him being a superior athlete, great numbers here. The vertical leap, the broad jump, fantastic. The 40-yard dash at that weight of 238 pounds. My dude ran a sub 4.4 40-yard dash, the 10-yard split, 20-yard split, which really does gauge short area quickness, which is what you need sometimes as a defensive lineman, also in that elite category. And on that scale of up to 10, an RAS score of 9.23. Doesn't get much better than that. So once again, let's ask you this question before we hop on out of here. You're more excited about which rookie here? Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and if your thoughts changed throughout today's show, you can go back and put your votes in once again. Thanks for watching us here on Philadelphia Eagles Now, and we'll catch you next time. Go Birds.